Cheers, radio.
Hey guys, we're getting the band back together.
Hey.
What's going on? Bam. It's the good old crew back together, man. Episode 39. What's going on, ladies and gents? It's been a minute.
Not a damn, not another, dude.
How crazy
Damn,
is this?
dude.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, they can hear him. I mean, this is crazy. This is the first time we're doing it. We're like virtually, like we can see Albi. Espi's here. The door's not even closed. I should have closed the door. Yeah. What's going on, brother? How are you, man? You're in Houston. You're in the midst of it all.
I'm still here. The flood didn't wash me away yet, so
First of all, I gotta say, I'm one of the only people from LA who asked Albi if him and Vanessa and the baby were okay.
I talked to him.
Yeah.
We did a podcast.
Yeah, like a week or two later.
I didn't even think about it. I was like, Houston, like, damn, that's crazy. Like, Houston, like, what?
I was tempted to like send a text and be like, "Hey, if anybody's concerned, I'm okay." But
Shit.
no, it's all good. Dude, I felt so fortunate because I dipped out like the Friday before, and I went to Lufkin because my parents kept bugging me about it, and I didn't want to go. I was like, fuck it, I'm low on groceries, and we went, and dude, I totally underestimated the whole severity of it all.
Completely underestimated that.
And I missed out on some like terrible times.
That's
Man.
good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, for real. But
Yeah.
Things have been crazy around here, man, dude. Like, this is my first time I ever really felt like an entrepreneur, like running my own business. You know, I'm surviving off of my own fucking business, and it's cray. And it's kind of stressful. Yeah, it's videography and drone business, and it is fucking dope. It's dope. Like, it's crazy how clients and customers will find you and shit. And Vanessa's out there, like, I got her on the streets hustling, finding this customer.
Hey, yo, you need footage? You need footage? I got you, bro.
Vanessa's going to all these events, networking and stuff.
No shit. That's kind of cool.
There's a thing called BNIs. They're like Business Network International, whatever. They're just little networking groups. And she's
Catalina wine mixer, bro. That's what that is.
For real, just hitting. she's been hitting them up, and everyone's like, "Oh, we need a drone business," because they try to get like a business, every kind of like different business, like one person from each.
Oh, tight.
And
it's an exploding market, especially in Houston, I'm sure. I hear there's fucking drones everywhere. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. I was at a wedding and they had a drone.
You just did one.
Yeah.
Did you use a drone in it?
Yeah.
So crazy.
What? They're living in the future.
Not while the wedding was going on, because it's loud.
Yeah.
But like,
do you
like
lawfully wedded?
It's like a flying lawnmower.
Those are not the words.
Whatever. What did I say? Lawfully wedded?
Do you lawfully wedded?
Lawfully. What is it? I don't fucking know. And I've been to a lot of weddings.
Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?
Your waffly wedded husband?
Your waffly. Yeah. No, the drone is fucking, it's sick, dude. It's so ill. Just to, like, see the world that you've seen a million times from a different perspective. It's fucking dope. And it's only like a year old.
What were they doing at the wedding you were at? Like, they were just flying it around the dance floor?
No, it was like we went to take photos and they were doing video of like that.
Is that what you were doing, or what'd you do? Same shit?
So I did it like before everyone got there, get all the opening establishing shots and shit.
Yeah. Like in front
Establishing
of the church.
shots.
That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's dope. It's beautiful to add that cinematic feel and shit.
Fuck yeah, you're basically getting now, like, with the equipment, how like so accessible it is, like anybody can make anything dope.
Dude, wedding videos nowadays
or like features.
It's so crazy.
It's better than most projects I've done.
No, for real, dude, for real. They're sick, and it's all like super cinematic. So I'm editing it now, and it's it was just me, and I brought Vanessa, who like really doesn't fuck with cameras a lot. So like I had to kind of teach her like the week before, and so then like I have the really good camera and all the gimbal and all the gear and stuff, and I have her on my other camera backup, and like she caught probably like 45 gigs
Damn.
Of footage, and I probably can't use any of it.
Is she right there?
I mean, yeah, I'm looking over here. No, she had great intentions. The idea was great. The look, but
What is it, like aperture and shit and like shakiness or whatever?
Yeah, the shakiness and aperture and all that stuff. But there were like 25 clips of this one fucking bush. I'm like, what the fuck? Who cares about the goddamn bush? The wind is blowing through the bush.
Was she trying to be artistic?
Yes. That's why I can't get. I'm not mad, but I'm like 6 clips the most. But we're on clip 18, 19, 20. It's the same fucking like. Whoops.
She's like,
it's this fucking ugly ass bush. I'm like, it's not even that pretty, you know.
I want to see this fucking bush. God
yeah,
damn
dude.
it.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, you had good intentions. I appreciate it. But yeah.
Nah,
we got some good footage, and I've just been growing a lot. I miss you guys. I miss LA and shit.
It's different out there, huh?
It's like I was there in LA like a lifetime ago and shit.
Right?
It's weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Especially when you start doing some shit and you get so caught up in it. You've been all over. This bitch's been traveling all over the goddamn world. She's been longer than you've been gone.
Fuck
Where's
yeah.
I been?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Where have you been? You've been traveling.
You've been MIA for sure.
It's been like
I see pictures of you like in Spain, like floating some like
not been
dead
to Spain this year.
You were like floating some Dead Sea or some shit.
Yeah,
like
and
I
then-
went
that.
to Mexico.
and then she was riding some fucking camels.
I went
and-
to. This was. You guys are talking about when we were doing this.
That's
like,
what
a
I'm
year
saying.
ago.
You were traveling the whole time. Nala, go to your bed.
But we talked about him. I went to Mexico and I had a boating accident.
Oh yeah, she did.
I went
the
on
fuck?
the banana boat. Do you know what the banana boat is?
No.
Like
The banana
this-
boat, of course.
They hook this kind of like floating thing. It looks
It's
like
like a raft.
banana. It's like a raft.
But it's a banana. It's a long ass yellow boat.
They hook it onto a boat and then they go like super fast in the ocean.
It's like you're riding a big hot dog.
It's kind of like it
Okay.
feels like a jet ski or something like that. But
Yeah.
some people like to like flip themselves over. And
Okay.
the girls that we were with, they were like 17-year-olds. They were like,
Let's flip over.
let's flip over. So they like flipped over, and the girl in front of me kicked me in the face.
MMA fight.
And then Robert was behind me, and he like hit my elbow with his head.
You're like, hey, bro, your face hurt my elbow. He's like, what about my face?
Yeah, I didn't ask him if he was okay till later in the day because I had a bloody mouth.
Oh
I
shit.
had a
Oh
purple
god,
lip.
dang.
It
I would have
was,
fucked
like,
that girl up in the middle of the ocean. I was like, you dumb bitch.
Robert was so mad. I was like, yeah, it's fun, huh? Because he didn't want to get on it. And then I was like, it's okay.
You get your fucking bleeding out of your lip.
Trying to act like I was all good.
It's fine. My lip will be normal. That's funny. Yeah, man. I wanted to do today's episode. Now that we're nice and warm. It's fucking. These lights are hot as shit, right? Told you.
What number is this, by the way?
39.
Okay, we're nice. Finally
today
get out
is-
of the 30s.
How to be a better partner for your lover or for your significant other or
Is this that's why I was curious. It's like because you said relationships, and I was like, is it just about like couples or like? Because right now I'm struggling with just humans and like dealing with those kind of relationships.
Yeah. I mean,
Which-
yeah, relationships in general. I just mean like how to be a better partner, and that doesn't necessarily have to be your significant other. That means you can be a better daughter, a better father, or
But-
better whatever.
All that I have to say today, they all go hand in hand in both. You know, any kind of
Yeah,
relationship. But before we start that, I do want to just share something. Like I've come across this. It's called rejection therapy, and I don't know if y'all seen it, but it's this guy.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, dude, this Asian dude, he like did this startup, you know, and he made this app, and then this investor was about to buy it, and then they said no, and he took it so much to heart that it really like messed him up. So he was looking for ways to like overcome rejection, and so then he found this rejection therapy. So it's on YouTube. He does 100-day rejection therapy where every day he goes and tries to get a no, and he'll ask people outlandish things and shit, and it's you squirm and you like flinch while you're watching it. And you're like, oh, what is he doing? And then he'll end up getting a yes and shit. And it's been by his third video, the third day, It blew up, went viral, and now like this all started in 2012, but I've just come across it, and
he's still doing it constantly.
he did the 100-day, and then he wrote books, and now he's like traveling, giving his advice
Giving
on
TED Talks.
Yeah.
He's
an expert.
on rejection because
Because people
like,
can't
there's nothing
take rejection.
Yeah.
there's nothing about rejection where like everyone always like focuses on failure, and like they've made it cool to like, oh, I failed, you know, like that shows like, you know, how weathered you are, but not much about rejection. We've like summed it up to just be like, oh, your rejection, just don't take it personally, and like that's it. But it doesn't go any deeper than that. And so like for example, he goes up to he's driving through his neighborhood. He's in Texas, in Austin, Texas, and this is Asian dude, right? His name's Ja Jong. And
That's his real name?
Yeah.
Damn,
and
his
he's
parents
like
fucking hated him.
he said, I'm gonna
I'm
go
just
up
saying,
to a
he's in
random
Texas?
stranger.
Think about it.
He's an Asian dude though. He's from China.
Yeah, he's from China. It's a name.
Oh, but I thought he was from here, but he was in Texas.
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
moved to Texas. But
Okay, my bad.
one of the things is he goes and asks a stranger. He knocks on their door and says, "Hi, do you think I can play soccer in your backyard?" and the guy's like, "You want to play what? You want to play soccer in my backyard?" And the guy fucking lets him.
I would too. I'd be like, "Fuck it, go ahead. I ain't using it."
And he's like, "I can ask you why you let me." He's like, "It's so off the wall. How could I say no?" You know? And I just want to share, like, if I think it's helped me so much. So now he has a book, an audio book, and I'm listening to it.
What's it called?
And it's just like resonating so deeply because as actors, as artists, as creators, that's one thing we always deal with is rejection, and it's hard not to take it personally because physically, like scientifically, you cannot take it personally because your body it produces opioids to help fight the actual pain and stuff, and so it's something that's been changing my life right now, and I really appreciate it. So while I was on the show, I just wanted to throw that out there. Check it out.
What's the book called? Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's Rejection Therapy 100-Day Challenge. And dude, you'll be in tears. You'll be fucking crying.
What's the audio book you're listening to though?
And the audio book is called Rejection Proof. So it's still a 100-day challenge.
And that made him better at like taking rejection.
Oh yeah, dude. Now he like.
I mean, I guess right.
Because he was so like crippled by fear, and so he had to like beat that somehow. And then after that, he's just all over the news, all over the world. People asking him to be on this and that, and yeah, it's fucking dope. So
damn. Did you ever have a fear of like when you were like starting out in the business, like of all the no's?
My parents were very honest with me about how
good.
many no's I was gonna get.
That's
like,
good.
They're like
That's
90% of this is rejection, but as I've gotten older,
it stings a little more.
Yeah, and it doesn't sting. It's just like it's just frustrating sometimes.
It's probably because you're probably more knowledgeable now of what you're capable of and like what you can deliver, and you're like, what?
And like I know more about like casting and like what really goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that. So
that's a shame too.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then also for acting, like you don't really get rejected sometimes. I mean, sometimes you could have your manager call and be like, "So what happened?" Blah blah blah. They went with someone else.
Yeah.
But you don't like get the actual rejection. You just
and that's the hard thing too.
Yeah.
Like a big thing for reps is always getting like feedback. It's so hard for them to get feedback. It's like, listen, bro, we got to cast 8 roles. We don't have fucking time to talk to every goddamn agent and manager about how their person did or whatever.
That's what I like also about this book is like because taking rejection is like obviously the main challenge, main topic of this. But then through the whole challenge, he realized that he couldn't give rejection either because once he started gaining fame, people are asking him to do this and this and this, and he doesn't have the time. And so obviously, if he's not good at taking it, he's not good at giving it too. And so it's like it shows the art of rejection. Yeah, it shows the art of rejection. It's just like it's it's. You know, it's a whole fucking beast on its own, but like to not just take everything everyone says to you and to reject gracefully.
Learning how to say no, learning how to
to learn to do it gracefully. Is also
that's part of the
an art
business
in
here.
itself.
Yeah, it's part of the business here. Like no one, like I've recently come to that point where I'm like, I don't want to do the stupid fucking part. I'm not going. You know what I mean? Like, and because at the end of the day, it's like. I've just decided that I'm not going to do things for money anymore. You know what I mean? I'm like, I do certain things for money, but it's like I'm not gonna do movies or shows or anything just for like, oh, like I need to get paid, just because it's like, I don't know. It's it's not gonna do anything for me if I keep doing that. And I've had to learn to be like, to talk to my agents too, to be like, no, I don't want this audition, and not be scared of being like, oh. They actually respect it more when they're like.
It's cool when you have an agent that's cool about it.
But you gotta. It's tough to find one because it's more about like them understanding why you're saying no. I'm not saying no to be an asshole. Like I'm like, it just does nothing for me. Like why am I gonna do this? Whatever dumb movie that's no one's gonna see. I'm gonna make, $3,000 on it, and that's it. Like what am I gonna So. I don't know. Learning how to do it gracefully is a tough thing. But I think overall, everything, man, it all boils down to like under the umbrella of communication. All relationships.
That's for sure.
And it's a beast.
Rejection is part of relationships too, as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I just mean like rejection also it falls under communication, because a lot of times we want to communicate a rejection to somebody, but we don't know how the fuck to say it so they're not hurt. You know what I mean? Like you want to tell them like, I don't want this, but I don't want to say it in a way that hurts you, because we all receive rejection differently, and we all speak rejection differently. I don't know. It all comes down to communication, I guess.
For sure. So let me ask you before, like, as we start, what made you want to make this the topic?
Shit, going through my own relationship bullshit in my life. No, I'm just going through a phase. I want my podcast to be an extension of this just to be us, so we can speak freely.
Absolutely.
And
that's how I see it.
And exactly. And whatever the fuck's going on in my life, and if I choose to talk about it or whatever, I'm gonna talk about it because this is my motherfucking podcast. So whatever.
Because of that, I was like, something must be like weighing on your conscience.
Yeah.
Like Drake done said.
Well, it's more of like I'm in a learning process. Everything is a learning process, but more of
every day.
Yeah, but it's more of like I'm at a point right now where I'm discovering. You're
reflecting on what happened in that relationship.
Yeah. Because you look at it differently when you're in it, and then once you're out, you're like, oh my god, like why? Oh, that's why. And all my friends, like things that we've talked about or whatever, sometimes they're like, it's just kind of like, hey dude, like we talked about this, you said it was, or whatever, you know what I mean? You just kind of under a veil, you forget about things.
Yeah. I've seen too many of my boys act like total bitches when they're in relationships, like pussy whip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like pick your nuts back up. What the fuck? Stop. What's with this pookie talking and shit? And I'm like,
it's weird.
She's disrespecting you. And then he'll be like, no. And then now he's like, oh yeah, what the fuck was that?
Because the thing is, when a lot of times when you care for somebody, you don't want to make them look bad. You want to be like, no, it's totally fine. Even if it's fucked up, you try to excuse their behavior to other people. Like, no, you don't understand.
Because they are an extension of you.
Yeah.
They represent you in a way.
Well, if they're not going to be like, oh well. Like if somebody's talking about your relationship, she's a bad girlfriend or he's a bad, they're going to be like, that relationship is fucked.
Is dysfunctional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is.
I think that's what the biggest realization of all, going into a relationship or being in a relationship, is knowing that it's not 50-50. You don't each do 50-50. It's 100-100.
That's a hard thing to understand.
And if you're not each given 100-100, then what the fuck do you it's gonna be hard to like make up that fucking huge difference. And a lot of times it falls mostly on one person than the other person. And
I don't know, it's tough because there's roles, right? Well, what were you gonna say? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there's roles, so I'm like, it's tricky, and I wanted to hear what you were gonna say because I
think it gets tricky. Like you always want to try to be 100, of course, but sometimes you gotta like check yourself to like get yourself back there, because it's easy to like I always am like thinking like my boyfriend does so much for me, like he leaves me gifts on my pillows, like, and he does all this extra stuff like all the time, and like is very considerate of me, and I really gotta check myself to be like, okay, I need to really be active and like put in my part of this relationship, because and let him know that I know that maybe right now this week, because I have rehearsal or I'm doing something, I'm not being 100 in that way necessarily, but like I appreciate what you're doing for me because it's making my life easier, you know, like if I'm at rehearsal and he's like, I'll cook dinner out of your ketogenic cookbook, even though I don't know really how to cook, I'll figure it out.
Yo, you're a champ, Robert.
For real, dude. I like Robert.
Yeah.
He's a fucking trooper.
I wouldn't do that shit. I'd be like, hey man, pick up some McDonald's on the way home. I don't give a fuck about your diet.
Yeah.
And then
No, for real.
then Rick would be like, you want to know what's wrong with McDonald's? It has so
Yeah.
much sugar. They tell you it's low fat, but really,
Have you heard of the McVegan is coming out? That's supposedly a thing. I don't think it's real. You know, yeah, but
McVegan?
but that's also a thing. It's like it push and pull, because like I'm sure like when he has a lot of shit going on, you're gonna be like, cool, I don't have shit going on. Like, let me fucking take care of whatever you. And that's a tough thing, because comfort is like the fucking devil. Like, we all want to be comfortable, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to get up and go do your shit for you, but I'll do it because I care about you, and I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, and it's learning how to be uncomfortable with doing things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you doing them because the feeling that you're gonna get when that person receives that. If that makes any sense. Like,
No, absolutely. There's times whenever. So me and Vanessa, we just hit our 16-year anniversary.
get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yay.
Oh my god.
So and it's wild because we've spent more than half of our lives together, and like sometimes I question myself. I'm like, damn, she seems like she's doing so much. Am I making sure I'm
but that's
reciprocating?
good. That's good that you're questioning yourself. At least you're aware.
Some people don't, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's a trait that is helpful with relationships. Is always being self-aware. You know,
it was like,
are you doing enough?
the other day I was at Disneyland with my friends that are a couple, and I asked the guy, like, so how's your day going, Matt? Like, what, you know, what's going on? And he was like, oh,
He's at my Disneyland. I don't know.
fine. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I always ask Robert, like, so how are you feeling today? How's your day going? You know, like, just to like check in, because sometimes you don't want to say that your day isn't going well, but like if your partner allows you to tell them that, you know, then it makes it easier to communicate and be like, actually, I feel like shit today.
Yeah. Good thing you asked.
Communication, I have to say, is the number one thing. It's obvious,
Yeah.
but it's fucking so hard to do.
It's so hard for
And
people.
I still have trouble to this day with Vanessa because she's, you know, a lot of times she's to herself, and I'm like, just, what do you think about this? Like, what's going on? This and that. Like, can you please just communicate? Just like open your mouth and make a noise and like let me know.
Yeah.
At least I'll know something.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating because.
But it's also because she probably communicates differently. Like, she probably grew up in a family where people understood each other, like, almost telekinetically, like, what the fuck's going on?
Well,
like,
also
what?
she's half Filipino, so like I feel like that Asian aspect of them. Asians are very reserved, you know.
Yeah.
So like she
can be.
herself, she herself.
But the Filipinos
she'll,
or the
like-
Latinos are the Asians, so they might have a little more party in them.
and she's half.
Yeah.
So
There you go. I don't know.
but that's the one thing that even though we've been together 16 years, like it doesn't matter how long, you always still have something to work on, and for us, it's still keeping an open communication, just because it allows things to flow better and stuff.
But it's also a thing because you guys are all both changing as people, and therefore your communication is going to change, and the things that you need from your partner are going to change. Like, you might not, like, in certain relationships, you're like, cool, like, I'm sexually fulfilled, but I need to have a conversation with you, or I have a conversation with you, but I'm not, or, you know, around the house, or whatever it may be, whatever the fuck scenario you guys have, it might be like one thing is taken care of, but you slack off on another. Human beings have a tendency to do that shit. Like, we all have to do that. But we keep changing, and we got to keep evolving our communication, which is a bitch.
Yeah, as we're changing though, I just got to make sure to like still keep that much like space for them to be, you know, part of your changes and stuff, and not to like let them be a smaller part of your life more and more. Because I've seen so many relationships drift apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not just with like couples. That's also with friendships.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's what I'm struggling with right now. It's like, you know, what we always talk about, the life that we try to lead, and it's like as I'm here now back home and with my old friends, it's like some of them don't want to do that self-addressing and like that self-audit, and like I'm all about progression, and if they're trying to like do the same old fucking things that like mental games, mind games, and shit like that. I'm like, I'm not about that. So I'm
Yeah.
struggling right now dealing with like learning to let go of these old friends because they're just fucking bringing me down. Like the energy, it's fucking draining. And I've been in a mental funk, but everything else around me is going good. But like mentally, I'm just like I'm finding fault in everybody.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking at faults of everybody else, it means that that's what I'm fucking feeling for myself.
Yeah.
And it's nothing's wrong with everybody else. There's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to figure out what the fuck that is.
It sounds like you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole because it's like
Yeah.
it's the you know what I mean? You remember those toys for kids? You get a square and you put it in a square, and you get a circle and you put it in a circle.
Liviana has
You
one.
can't
now.
fucking fit the square in a circle. So you try to do that, you just it's like it's almost
No,
like
it makes sense.
because if you think about it, you left that environment because that mentality was surrounding you, and you sought to new mental adventures or spiritual growth
Yeah,
or whatever the
I
fuck it
came
may
to fucking L.A.
Yeah, and then
like,
and everybody out here is like, what the fuck? We're trying to figure it out too, bro. And you're like, cool, let's figure it out together. And then you go back, they haven't left the environment, so they're not gonna be thinking like, I need to do this self audit. And I think the easiest way, well, at least for me, what it's been is just to show the benefits of what you're doing and have them feel like it's a decision they made on their own, and be like, oh yeah, I'm changing because I want to change, but you know what I mean. But it's more of because they see it, whatever you're doing, and want to thrive off of that. Just I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. But like one thing that I want to make like address is that with like relationships with your family and friends and with couples, what you have to understand is that you only see the world through your eyes, right? So you see the world through your own filter. So you see the world how you see yourself. And so if you're not working on yourself, then you can't expect somebody else to make your fucking life better. And that's what I've seen so many couples do. Like, oh, save me. I want, like, you're my knight in shining armor, whatever the fuck. And
It's impossible.
Like, people are expecting somebody else to, like, save them from their demons. But you're the one that goes to sleep with those demons, and you're the one that wakes up with them. And you only see the world how you are. So if you're not changing your filter, then nobody else can do that for you and shit. And so a lot of times with relationships that don't work, it's because maybe one or both didn't want to work on themselves and clean their own fucking baggage.
That's a big problem with people. And I didn't learn. I mean, it took me like getting an ass kick into the heart to like figure out like, oh, maybe I got to think about what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I'm sure it's the same thing with you, right? Like, you didn't start like automatically thinking, I'm just gonna be working on myself. Like, I don't know, you got to get dumped and like be single for like 5 fucking years.
I was single for 7 years, and then I realized like what a bitch I was to my ex-boyfriend who really, really loved me a lot. And I was like, wow.
Sometimes it takes that,
Like,
that journey.
I treated that guy like like shit. I
Sorry,
was
bro.
such a brat. And now he has, an amazing life and blah, blah, blah. And before I met Robert, I was like, damn, like...
Did I fuck up?
Did I fuck up? And then, but it was like perfect because I had realized all these things about myself throughout the years of being single and dating stupid people. And like, but right when I met Robert was the exact perfect time to meet him. And it was the right time to meet. It was the right time for him to meet me as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's another point I wanted to make is that I know it's like several people that, they're looking for someone, they want that special someone, but they don't have necessarily their own shit figured out, not necessarily like career-wise and stuff, but like their own happiness. And you got to understand, you're only going to attract what you're putting out, what you emit. And it goes back to the whole thing, like what kind of conversation are you having with yourself every day? Because that's a conversation with the universe, And so like if you're sitting here not really working on yourself, and you have all this fucking baggage, you're only going to attract somebody that's on your caliber, on your same level. So if you want to attract that person that's your dream or whatever, then like start slowly working on yourself. And then as you're fucking loving yourself finally for the first time, the universe is going to drop this person right there for you. And it's going to be like that fucking much better and shit. And then now you'll be able to help them instead of you being a fucking crutch or you being baggage to them, because they don't deserve that.
But it could also happen simultaneously. You can get in a relationship with somebody where they're like, "Yo, I want to fix this shit. Like, do you want to fix this shit?" And they're like, "Yeah, I want to fix this shit. Let's go on this self-discovery journey." I met a lot of hippie ass couples that are like, "Yo, we're gonna go do ayahuasca or whatever the fuck they go do," and you know what I mean. And like people that are on a journey together. But if one person's doing it and one person's not, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Like, it always is because.
And acknowledging your faults and like what you really, that's the hardest part. I think being honest with your partner about like, I know in this part of my life or me, I really suck, and I need to work on that. Or like, I feel insecure about this around you,
That's a big one too, but because it's hard to recognize insecurity a lot of times, like because it comes in many different forms. Like, dudes will get insecure and all of a sudden they'll start acting like a dick, and they're like, "Why are you being a dick?" And it's not big. Has nothing to do with it. It's just about their own insecurities, and you're just projecting them. And it might come off as like anger, like this is just angry, but in really, he's insecure. Or somebody might come off as like jealous or whatever, but it's insecurity all the time, and it comes out of a place of like, I just want to be accepted by you.
Yeah,
right?
It's that rejection, dude. Nobody wants to be rejected.
Yeah.
I had the whole thing with Robert recently. We've been together for it'll be 2 years on Halloween, and like,
I mean, it's a long ways from 16.
I
but.
know.
I mean, hey, congratulations, shit.
I've sang for my whole entire life, and I've always felt confident singing. But when I started dating Robert, and especially when I moved in, I kind of like stopped. And like started getting really nervous about singing, and like because he's such a talented musician. And like I thought it was maybe that, but then I was like, maybe it's other things. And then he even talked about it and was like, I don't want you to feel like I'm judging you because I think you're a great singer. We had a whole discussion about it because I would just like break down and cry about singing.
Damn.
And like now I can be like, and it's still something that I'm working on. Like, last night we were trying to write a song together, and I was like, cool. I get so nervous singing in front of you, and I don't know why. I don't get nervous singing in front of strangers.
Because you care about his opinion, maybe?
Yeah. But it was hard for me to even acknowledge that because it was like, it's a weird, like, why am I feeling insecure about this? This is weird.
This is what you do. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, you don't want to push him away or some... Like, he's going to be like, oh, her voice is
ugly. Or I don't want him to be like, I love my girlfriend so much, but, like, damn, like, she thinks she can sing, but, like, really, like, in the back of his head.
But I think you would have figured that out a long time ago if you didn't know how to sing. Somebody would have been like, yo, let's change this shit up because this isn't working.
For real.
Yeah, but he's also a person that's been openly, like, working on his communication,
himself,
and on himself. And that's, like, also a thing. If you guys are both, like, okay, I got to do, like, me, like, my self-work. That's a big thing. Everybody's got to pull their own weight. I think the biggest misconception in relationships is that, like you said, like people want somebody else to fix them, and it's like in a relationship, like somebody's never gonna be able to love me enough for both of us. Like I got to be able to love myself before anybody else can love me or anything like that.
And that's the biggest thing.
And it's like people expect you to once you have that expectation, you're gonna be let down 100% of the time because they're never gonna love you the way you can love yourself, and it's just gonna be a downfall. All these shortcomings, and nothing's ever gonna be good enough because you haven't learned to love yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've been there a million times.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I see it. It's like once you can start to love yourself, then your significant other doesn't have a void to fill for you, and that love that comes from your significant other is just that much even better because you filled your own void, and now you have this extra plethora, and your cup is overflowing.
We got dessert, bitch. What? We got tiramisu. Damn.
Yeah, dude, your cup runneth over and shit, and then. That's what makes people like that whole puppy love and so whatever. And like, I love that. You can still be puppy love like 100 years later and shit, as long as you can love yourself first. And that's what I think has been like our strongest, or what's kept our relationship still so fresh is because we're conscious about ourselves, like as far as like our growth and our progression and all that, and. I only want the best for her and for myself. So like we work on ourselves, and then whenever like, cause it's an ebb and flow, whenever like I'm unconfident and stuff, I could just turn and fall back on her and know like, hey, she can help me get back on track and stuff, and not have her like hold my hand fucking every day and like tiptoe in eggshells and shit like that.
Do you think a big part of your guys' success is that you guys trust each other so much?
That we trust each other. Oh fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Trust. That's what I was gonna say. Trust is the biggest thing, and I mean it's obvious, right? Like trust if you want a relationship to work, but
it's
whenever,
trust in so many different ways.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I remember when we were younger, I thought, man, the first few years of our relationship were so like not really rocky with the relationship. It was tough for me to learn to finally love myself because that's what I learned from her. And like up until that point, I was just so like, I don't know, self-conscious, and like I was trying to impress people or whatever, and
Seeking validation.
Getting in fights at the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
yeah.
Slipping on pine
Yeah.
straw.
I was just looking for validation somewhere, and then she taught me about like you don't need fucking validation from anybody else.
She's like, I like you. Fuck everybody.
And then obviously, we're in high school and we're children at the time, so I was still developing it and all that stuff. But I never once, and I still to this day, like I'll still look over whenever if there's like an attractive guy or something, and I look over to see her, to see like is she looking at him because he's looking at her, and so I see when guys look at my wife, like fuck you, homie. But and so,
but it's but it's also like a thumbs up to you, like
no, for sure.
You're not with some fucking
I know
cow.
I know my wife is beautiful, so I just want to see like how she responds to it, and she's never in like 16 years never looks at the guy ever.
Probably doesn't even realize.
Yeah.
Or maybe
She
she's
doesn't.
I'm
It's not even a conscious idea to her anymore.
Well, because bro, women don't have to go out and seek men. I mean, kind of, not really. In this age, I guess it's changing with Bumble, but it's like it's in a real life scenario. Like if a woman walked into a crowd and said, "Who wants to fuck?" 1,000 dudes would raise their hand, as opposed to if a dude went into the middle of the crowd and said, "Who wants to fuck?" Maybe one slut in the back is gonna say yes. You know what I mean? It's so much more common. It's just the way we're genetically programmed.
Yeah, but like that's the kind of shit I learned from her, and then me like just being like we're dudes, and like you're like I still have that primal instinct, and like you'll look at somebody attractive, whatever, but I never see that in her.
It's weird.
And so that I'm like, damn, I guess I'm just a piece of shit.
But it's also genetic. Like there's been so much study been shown lately about how we're genetically programmed.
It's just my genes.
To like, no, I'm serious. It's
No,
it's like it traces back to. I mean, now if you go and talk to that girl and slap her on the ass and ask for her number, that's a whole different fucking story. Then you're an asshole. Then you're a real piece of shit. But if you glance and you catch yourself, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't be looking. If you catch yourself and make that self audit, then you're good. I think so, at least. I don't know.
No, I think so too.
Do you ever see somebody and you're like, oh, I shouldn't be looking? Do you ever catch yourself? Have you ever been that?
I don't think I've caught myself doing that, but Robert says that he catches me doing that. But it's usually when it's like a half Asian guy that looks
cool.
like him.
It looks like you, bro.
Oh, okay, cool.
But like,
he's like, why are you looking over there? You got the juice right here.
I definitely I have to like check my jealousy because my boyfriend is fucking hot. So like I see like old ass ladies checking him out, the waitresses. It's really interesting when we.
It's also because he's charismatic though, like the way he like.
And he's cool. He has tattoos.
Yeah,
like,
he's got a cool ass style and everything.
Yeah, they're like, who's this young whippersnapper?
But
he reminds me a lot of myself in a way.
Sometimes when we go to eat, the waitresses will only talk to him.
That happens a lot though. I think that's a thing.
I mean, it might be
because
I've
they're
never
paying.
served like that, so like.
So they're like, let me get that tip.
Yeah, it could be a thing, but I'm always like, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm eating
You're
too.
like, I'll
bitch.
take the ticket right here.
For real.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's funny. I
but
mean,
like in past relationships, I've like checked my boyfriend's phone and like been crazy as fuck.
It never ends well, huh?
And it never ends well. Ever.
Either way, like anybody looking through anybody's phone.
Even if the person's not doing something, you can find something to make it's just your own insecurity.
Yeah.
So like,
For real.
You can make something out of nothing.
I have never looked in Robert's phone.
Don't.
Sometimes I'm nosy. Like if I'll be like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Whose Facebook is that?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
But like,
But
I
it's
would
also
never,
open. Then you're
but
kind of
it's
fucking with
all-
them.
And it's also
Oh.
like, he also would not. I feel confident that he wouldn't care if I grabbed his phone. But I've had boyfriends who are cheaters who are like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, don't
yeah.
touch my phone. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Yeah.
How do you know my password?
Yeah.
No, it's true though. Like Vanessa will go through my phone like to see like my like photos because
Yeah.
we have a daughter and shit like right. But then it's funny how like
Tell her to watch out. All your boys are sending you pictures of their dicks and shit.
you can because you can still get in trouble somehow because so Vanessa's like, who sent you this picture? And I look at it and it's like this naked girl, like it was just her tits and like and she was naked and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was
She's
"Is that
like,
my
oh, really? What
Yeah,
is it, huh?
No, for real. And I was like, what the fuck is that? That's my phone? And she's like, yeah, it's in a text message. And I look, I didn't even realize it was one of Brian's old roommate, Craig.
Oh, yeah.
He had sent me a birthday picture, birthday like whatever. And he's like, yeah, I was gonna send you birthday tits. And I was at the restaurant. And I was like, haha, yeah, I send him, like joking.
Yeah.
And I never saw the picture that came. And then here's a week later, Vanessa's going through it, and then these like big ass tits are on my phone.
Dude, and the guy's probably like, damn, he never responded to my tits.
But I was dumbfounded. I was like, damn, see that can this
Yeah.
if it would have been another couple, like
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
oh,
Get 'em out, right?
definitely.
Oh, dude, I've been dumped for way less shit than that. Like, cause you can make something out of nothing. Like, and I don't know, man. It's so tricky in that aspect. Like, I've always said, like, if you have to look through your significant other's phone, like, there's
a
already
problem,
there's
for
already an
sure.
underlying issue. Like, you need to have a fucking
Yeah.
conversation. You need to do something. There's a mosquito in here. You need to do something because it's just looking through the phone is not going to end well. I just think it's not because it's like anything to hide, just because of this like the sneakiness of like, oh, I'm gonna go through your, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna text message over here, and they look through their shit and they're like, oh, who's this bitch? Screenshot and shit, sending it to themselves, like whatever the fuck they're doing.
Sending it down.
I've had
Yes.
many instances where people look through my phone, but I don't give a fuck because I don't really hide anything. Like, I'm just like, go ahead, fucking look through it. But
That's what Robert says. He's always like, I'm always like, I've never looked through your phone. He's like, well, I wouldn't care if you did.
like whatever, like.
You know?
Because I just feel like, I mean, if you find something you're going to get pissed off at, I'm just going to be like, look, like, that's a group text with 2 other dudes. They also send me pictures of their balls. Like, whatever. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not going to be something like, oh, who's this fucking girl? Like, if we're at that stage, I ain't letting you touch my phone. You know?
for real.
And we ain't together. Like, so that's just kind of how it is.
It's
So.
it's funny because the other day, like you were talking about inside jokes. My friend, Austin, he sent me this this one video of like this guy. He has a Guinness World Record for the most claps in a minute.
That guy has nothing to do.
Yeah, and so my post was like, "Damn, dude, save some pussy for the rest of us," because it was from a meme I had seen one time, right?
Yeah.
And so it's an inside joke,
Oh, no.
and not even 30 seconds later, I get a text from my mom, and
She's on your Facebook?
and she's like, very ugly comment. And I was like, oh fuck.
I could totally
She-
see your mom saying that. Like,
I
it's
I
very
didn't
ugly.
realize like
Very ugly.
everything I say is gonna be shown to other people. I thought like
Yeah.
I thought it was like select things, but this was like a video and a message on a video, and then
You might
my
have
mom's all
posted it
following my
wrong.
shit.
You might have posted it wrong.
No, like when you comment on somebody's video, it comes up
Oh.
on people's feed. Like, Albi commented on this video.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
no.
so funny. Your mom is like, what is this?
But I don't want my mom to know like
Yeah.
what pussy is.
Oh, she
What
knows.
do you mean? She doesn't know.
Oh,
What
she
do you-
knows.
She doesn't know?
It's like, oh,
Yeah, I don't
I've
know.
never heard this word. She doesn't want. She
Yeah,
doesn't
I
want to.
don't-
She doesn't want to hear you talking about save some pussy for the rest of us. That's what you don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's what's so weird because I'm her baby boy and shit.
Yeah. She's like,
is
Albion, what
gross.
is this? Huh? What is this? Explain yourself.
Yeah. One time she got mad because Watson was like farting next to her, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Albi, Watson, he's coming sitting next to me and he's farting. I didn't ask him to come sit next to me." But like, she was all quiet about it, like, "Hey, he's coming. He's doing this. I didn't ask him to do this."
Like he's a little kid. It's like I didn't ask him to come and sit next to me and shit
Yeah.
up a storm, but he's doing
Yeah,
it. All
yeah.
right? Can you have a talk with him? That's
dude,
so
it's
funny.
fucking funny.
I
love that shit.
thought today. Should we jump in? No, we shouldn't jump in.
What are we jumping into?
The questions.
Oh.
Hot seat questions.
Sure, what are yours?
What we're gonna do? I wanted to do, instead of doing hot seat questions, doing more of like, what are your red flags that hit you off about people at work? 1, your partner. 2, and people in public. 3.
Like pet peeves?
Yeah.
Or...
Just red flags or pet peeves where you're like,
you
I
wanna
don't.
stay away from them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh
Albi.
yeah.
Boom.
Yeah,
First one is work.
Whenever they don't respond to my fucking emails, and I know you did because it'll show red. Because if you can
SB probably does that all the time.
Dude, what?
She does.
I do. How do you know that?
Because you just laughed really fucking hard when you said nobody reads my emails and just doesn't respond.
and it's like bitch, I know you read my fucking email because I have it.
It says
It'll show
red?
me.
Sometimes.
If you use like a website like Streak or something, it'll show you when the message has been opened. So that way, yeah, it's like a plugin that you can use on Google Chrome, and you'll know like if they read your email, so you can follow up with them and shit. And like I'll send invoices and stuff, and motherfuckers all of a sudden acting dumb. I'm like, bitch, you better have my money.
Hey, Rihanna's looking good these days. What's up with
Dude,
Rihanna?
what?
I haven't
Of
seen
course.
her.
Yeah. No, she's looking a little thick these days, but it looks good on her.
It's Riri.
Yeah.
And
she's
duh.
she's just riding around naked in yachts and shit. Fuck it, titties hanging out. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Riri, bitch. Bad girl. Pon dirty play. She looks
You're
good
a
though.
peg.
She looks good. Hey, but she's fucking strutting her shit. Whatever. Anyway.
What's the next red flag or something?
Yeah, the your partner.
Like when I know not to fuck with her, or
Or just anything that sets you off, pet peeve or whatever. Like just a red flag. It's just kind of like, oh, stay away.
oh man, it's hard with Vanessa.
It doesn't have to be.
like,
It doesn't have to be Vanessa. I just mean like in a relation. If you're seeking a partner, what would be a red flag? Where you're like,
yeah, like privacy with their phones and shit. Like, hey, why do you want to know my password,
that is
my passcode?
you're so stupid. And then the third one is people in general in public.
People, I don't know. People that say supposedly instead of supposedly.
I fucking hate that. It also is when somebody says like this is addictive instead of it's
Dude,
addicting.
Vanessa just
instead of saying addicting, this is addicting. It's addictive, right?
Vanessa was just quoting you on that like 2 nights ago, and she's like,
Addictive?
Rick would say something about that where he's like, oh, it's not addicting, it's addictive.
Yeah, I totally would. I fucking hate that.
People say that?
Yeah. Oh, it's addicting. Everyone in the hood, South Central. Everybody I know from South Central. Sorry.
Oh, that's
But-
so addicting.
Yeah, they're like, oh, those hot Cheetos are addicting, fool.
I seen them.
Yeah, I see, and that's another thing. I seen them. And I say that shit sometimes too. I seen them.
Yeah.
Instead of fuck,
It's just
You need to work on yourself.
I'm a fuckboy certified. Certified fuckboy.
Fuck boys.
Okay, you. Boom.
Okay, what was the first one?
First one's work.
Work. Okay. I think when it comes to acting, like when people can't take notes or direction and get
Ooh.
offended, then
Insecurity.
then and like they think it's like a direction is something like against them, then I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
And and when it comes to work, people who are not humble. Humility is like my
Ooh.
that's
Man.
I'm just like
She's a stickler, but she calls it out. You're good at it though. She sees it from a fucking 3 football fields away. She'll be like, that dude or that chick. They'll be like that. They're not humble. They're so full of themselves.
it's just it's not even being full of yourself. It's just being like, so my dad has always been like, we have to be grateful for the gift that we give people. So as an actor, we get to do this and we should be grateful that we get to do it, but don't be like acting like you're the shit,
I hate that.
And talking about friends that you have to like push away. I've had those situations where I gotta be like, and I've told them like, look, you're acting like a douchebag because of this, and I just need a break from you because you're not, and I'm being honest with you, and you think I'm being mean to you for telling you this, but I'm the only person telling you this. And that's
yeah.
so I'm being your real friend.
How
right now.
fucking crazy is that? Sometimes when you're like, man, sometimes you become the attacked one when you're like, hey, man, I'm the only one who has the balls to tell you some shit.
Man,
Like,
when
I'm trying to fucking help.
when I met Rick,
oh, she gave me so much shit.
I was like, dude,
You need to chill the
humble,
fuck out.
Dude, chill out.
I was like, I was drunk
You're so
all the
full
time.
Of yourself.
Just fuck it. It was the alcohol. I was like, whatever, man. Let's party, 1999. And she was like,
Man.
you're a douchebag. But it was good for me. I learned a lot.
Do you drink like that anymore?
Fuck no.
Do
Fuck.
you drink at all?
I mean,
Recently, he has.
I had no.
I
See,
saw your Insta
it's
story.
true. I had
dude.
when I had Mexican ways on here. Those guys got me fucking drunk.
And then he had like.
Oh yeah.
He Insta storied some shots, and I texted him like, interesting that you're drinking now.
Well, it was
Oh, yeah.
it was my buddy Rafa. He graduated from his CHP academy, and I was like, all right, I'll have a shot with you, bro. But that was it. All right, boom.
A shot.
Relationship?
And then
Or,
just a person, a significant other.
not with Robert.
No, it doesn't have to be Rafa. Just anybody. When you're seeking somebody out, and you're like, red flag.
I think it's the same thing, like talking about themselves too much, or like, like if you're like in a relationship and like you go out and they're just like all talking about themselves and trying to like be really cool.
But it's probably because they're trying to impress you too. No.
Maybe, but that kind of
Self-absorbed.
shit, and like machismo is just like not
Ooh.
my shit at all.
Espi will call you out.
We just had a conversation the other day where he was like, you know, you'd like it if your man was like, hey, that's my girl, blah blah blah, and I was like, no.
No, but I said it differently. Like if there was a dude and he like walked up and he's like hollering at your chick right in front of your face, and then like this dude's being aggressive and then he ends up getting beat up, like you would be cool with that. If that guy was wrong and your boyfriend's like, I'm beating this dude up, and then he beats you up.
But it wouldn't be like, oh fuck yeah, my boyfriend beat the dude up. It would be like, that's weird. Yeah. Like, no, we're grown-ups. We're not fighting. What are you doing?
I'm not 30 yet. You guys are ahead of me. I'm still like, fucking fight him, bro. That's true.
You're not, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm 29. I just turned 29. I'm a young buck. I shouldn't have said my age. Fuck, now everybody knows.
Yeah.
I'm 12 on the inside. And then the third one was public, like just people.
People in public.
The masses.
That's hard. That's
like what about people? Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess when I feel like I get a weird an inauthentic energy from somebody, then I'm like, eesh.
Those are so detectable. I feel like sometimes when certain people.
It usually happens with women for some reason. Like I get a weird like.
Like you smell her cycle or something.
Competitive something, I don't.
I think it's more of like, I think it's like some genetic shit with us. Like I feel like a lot of our programming hasn't gone away. Like women had it. Women are fucking savages. Like in the animal kingdom, the lioness is the one that hunts. Like she's the one who takes care of her cubs. Like all the women like do all the work in the jungle, and the dudes just kind of secure the perimeter. And it's like we want to think of ourselves as so much more, but we're really just a smart monkey that exchanges ideas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting because, like, I don't have more female friends now. Like, the female friends that I've had for, like, a long ass time.
Yeah, forever.
But maybe I'm the bitch,
Maybe. Maybe. See, that's good. You're making a self-analysis.
I don't like, seek new friends, really.
So.
Yeah.
I'm not, like...
Yeah, that's another thing, too. You know what's weird? Like, speaking of somebody, I shouldn't say who they were. I'm not going to tell you, but I'll tell you off air. He reached out and he was just kind of like, there's just people who are like, not him, but it's just, there's a few people that are just like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, what's up?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And then they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, fucking.
What are you doing?
I'm like, like in my head, I'm thinking like, dude, we haven't spoken in 9 fucking months. Like, and we only spoke like twice before that. Like, I don't even know how you got my number. And then it's like, whoa, do you want to hang? I'm like, that's when I feel like, man, I'm good on friends. Like, I don't need to go out. Like, I don't need to, like, if I come across somebody and it naturally unfolds, then that's different. But if somebody's like, hey, let's be friends. I'm like, damn, bitch, why you don't know how to make friends? That's weird. Like, you know what I mean?
It's interesting. Like, some people are socially awkward or
a lot of people
uncomfortable. So, like, it is work for them. You know what I mean? Like, Robert always tells me, like, you're so charismatic. Like, you can naturally have a conversation with somebody and, like, it's not there's no awkward silence, which like maybe to him an awkward silence is something that is there, but like I don't feel it's an awkward silence, you know. I can just breathe and be like in the moment.
Just stare at the fucking wall.
But for some people, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of work to like go out and like.
But it's also a muscle. Like the only way you're gonna get better at it is by doing that shit all the time. You know what I mean? Like if you're not around people and you're staring at the fucking wall inside your house, like you're never gonna be good at talking to people.
I mean, the whole rejection therapy, like he knew what he was bad at, so he went out and seeked it.
Yeah.
Shit, I was gonna say like acting is fucking rejection therapy. You know what I mean? It's not like goddamn.
Absolutely.
The whole fucking it's like no. It's like fuck. All right. All right. Moving on. My red flags. My red flags for work is when people are like, hey, all right, this thing's gonna be big. All right, this thing's gonna be real big, and we're gonna make you a star. And I'm like, oh, shut the fuck. Over promising always. When they're like, oh, this company's great, man. You want to work for this? I'm always like, I don't want to fucking work for your company. I don't want to fucking no. Or if you're trying to sell me that hard, there must be something going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to sell me that hard for some good shit. And then
for real, the work should speak for itself.
For relationships is how they treat a waiter or a waitress.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm like, wait a second. You're being shitty with the waiter. First of all, you don't have a lot of street knowledge because they can easily shit on your food back there if they want to.
For real.
Second off,
I learned that.
Yeah, dude. First of all, I try to be nice to everybody for the most part. Unless you're fucking with me. But why would you like talk like they're handling your food?
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck?
That's your bad if you're acting like a bitch.
But it's like, but then you're fucking up my meal, bitch. Because if she's being a jerk and she's talking shit, I'm like, fuck. Now I'm gonna eat fucking loogies.
Loogies.
Ew.
Loogies.
Loogies. Whatever, man. It's addicting.
No, hey, it's true. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they treat their waiter, and I've known that.
Or
for
anybody
years.
that's serving them in any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody that can they're paying their service of them.
Think about how many times, even you, for instance, just everyone like think about themselves. How many times have you actually asked your waiter for their name, or have you been able to just go throughout the whole transaction without even knowing, and you're fine with that,
dude? Yeah.
You know,
that's one of my things that I do. I always repeat their name back, like, oh, what's going on? My name is John. I'll be taking care of your order tonight. And I'm like, what's up, John? How you doing? Always. Some people say it comes across douchey, but I'm more of like, what's up, man? You're doing your job. I'm doing my fucking thing. I'm just gonna try to eat this Korean barbecue or whatever we're gonna eat.
People just have things though, like I have a resting bitch face. Maybe sometimes you can come.
But maybe you're doing it on purpose though.
I'm not.
I don't believe in the theory of resting bitch face because I feel like those thoughts in there are like, I want to fucking kill people.
But it's not even thoughts. Like it's just literally I'm thinking about nothing.
she just zoned the fuck out.
But you're angry subconsciously about something. You're just like, fucking Twinkies should be diet Twinkies or whatever. You know, and they're just angry. I don't believe it. I don't think it's safe. I think if resting bitch face was a normal thing, you would be unsafe, and you would get weeded out by Darwinism.
But I mean, it could just be like their own thoughts should be shown on their face.
That's what I'm
even if it's
saying.
Thoughts against themselves, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't believe it. Because what about other times? Why is your resting bitch face only sometimes?
Well, some would argue that it's not, but like when I see myself, it doesn't necessarily look like that.
Well, you're seeing your face.
But what others see, is they would consider that.
What is it? RBC? RBF?
RBF.
Resting bitch face. And then my last one for people is if you don't use your fucking blinker. All right? If you don't use your goddamn blinker, I'm coming after you.
I do
all right?
that all the time.
Oh my fucking God, I'm gonna slash your tires. Because there's this tweet that I have pinned at the top of my profile, and it says, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I found that more and more to be true about everything. It's crazy. And it's like...
If you can't do it fast, you can't do it slow. Or if you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But another one.
But it's just like anything. Like if you think about somebody who's like never accomplished something, and then you think about like how they never go 100% at anything, and you're like, well, there is no accidents in why shit happens. It's just like, well, this fucking person didn't do the work, so they're never gonna achieve what the fuck they're doing. Because you know the people that shoot themselves in the foot right before they get to something always.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. Didn't I talk to you about?
No.
Like about joy. I was listening to this podcast where Brene Brown was talking about joy and how people don't let themselves feel joy. Like total joy. Like she gave an example as like if you're really in love and like your boyfriend leaves, when they leave you get a really scared second of like, oh shit, what if something's gonna happen to him, or like you get this like feeling of like something's gonna go wrong because you're so joyful that naturally like you don't allow yourself to feel the joy.
Like you're almost like, this is too good to be true.
But you should allow yourself to feel that joy instead of letting those thoughts get into your head.
You mean like sitting in the emotion before like jumping to anything else? Is you're saying?
Sitting in the emotion of joy.
That's what I'm saying. Like sitting.
And then if it creeps in, be like, no, that's not what it is.
Yeah. That's training too. It's
yeah.
What is it called? Neurolinguistics, right? Isn't that part of it? Like
NLP.
retraining your brain.
For sure.
How to say
for
shit.
Sure.
Dude,
I'm having deja vu right now. It's weird.
Ooh,
trip,
we
bro.
were in your dreams.
Crazy Curious Radio
Yes.
number 39.
You know what? Like while we're on deja vu, the best explanation I've ever had of a deja vu was that your optical nerves. You know, you got your two eyes, and then the area of your brain where you process that little vision
Cerebral
is like
cortex?
say on the left side, right?
Okay.
So what happens is that whenever you see the microphone or something I'm looking at, this one goes directly to it, but then sometimes this has a slower dilemma. And so because this already saw it, by the time this gets there and reaches the other side of the brain, it seems like, oh, it's happened at some other time, but it's just a delayed timestamp.
Interesting.
I think that was the best explanation I've ever experienced.
But what if it really fucking did happen and you're like, oh my god, I'm having deja vu. I had this shit in a
I
dream.
think that sometimes. I'm like, this was not a dream. This was something that happened sometime.
Maybe it fucking
for
did.
sure.
Who knows what's real? Are the dreams real? What time is
I'm
it?
just saying, if I were to look for a scientific explanation, that's the best one. But obviously, science can't explain everything. So
Science. Actually, maybe it can. I don't know. Let's jump to some current events. Don't.
okay, man.
Yeah,
This
my song.
shit has been just all over the news in Hollywood.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up
Harvey
here.
Weinstein.
Yeah.
Fuck yes,
Dude, have you
This
ever
dude-
seen such an ugly motherfucker?
The stories are crazy.
Oh my god.
it's wild.
It feels like a movie.
Rose
Like
Rose McGowan just came out and said that he raped
Dude,
her.
Rose McGowan claiming she was raped.
Angelina
98. Angelina Jolie, Ashley Judd, Gwyneth Paltrow,
Dude.
saying he's one of those producers that promises roles, and then Ashley Judd said that Harvey Weinstein made her come to his hotel room and forced her to watch him shower.
Ew.
Dude, look at this ugly motherfucker.
Ew.
Oh, dude, you know what's crazy? I worked for somebody who was like this. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Yeah, you do. She used to call him a slimy boss.
Yeah, he seemed so slimy.
And that's how he was like a baby version of this dude. He wasn't like raping shit, but he was totally like, if he could, he totally would. And he was always trying. But I'm like,
Well-
this is the thing I'm tripping about this, bro, because it's like, we're only seeing what the strikes are. We're not seeing all the fucking home runs. How many fucking girls said yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it's got to be fucking embarrassing, too, to be like, oh, my God. Like, especially when this dude doesn't come through with what the fuck he said. And then you're like, oh, my God, this motherfucker got me.
Oh my god! Like,
I sucked that nasty dude's
Ew.
dick. Oh, my. Look at him.
Did you see?
Kath-
Did you see the Lindsay Lohan video?
Look at
Where
this.
she's
ugly
like
man.
No.
defending him. She's like, he never did anything to me, and I think his wife should step up and have his back.
Lindsay Lohan's a fucking drug addict. Shut up, Lindsay. Help out your fellow sisters. God damn.
yeah, and it's what's the whole like
Look
irony,
at him.
irony behind all this is, you know, because he first started Miramax, which when like we got
Disney bought
super
it.
successful. Disney bought it, whatever. Then they had to sell it because of later on some bunch of shit went down. But like Harvey Weinstein, like the Weinsteins after they went on and after Miramax they did the Weinstein Company. They've received 341 Oscar nominations and they've won 81 Academy Awards
Yep.
while at Miramax and Weinstein.
And that's why people
And so
feared
he-
him.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's been such a big figure, and he's created this $150 million like empire, and now with all of this, they've all on Saturday or Sunday they just fired him. So the empire that he built just fired him.
But
Yeah,
but
that's
you know
so
you know what's so
crazy.
interesting? It's like now the only reason this is happening is because this motherfucker ain't got shit. They've had money problems since 2009, right? The company,
Yeah.
the Weinstein Company. They've had financial problems since then, and they avoided bankruptcy in '09. So now it's over. Now this dude hasn't come up with any. So he's got all these Oscar nominations, 341 and 81 Academy Awards he won or whatever, while at Miramax and Weinstein. But this year he ain't got shit. He ain't got dick this year. So people are much more emboldened, I feel, to be like, fuck this dude. He ain't even making shit no more, this fat, gluttonous motherfucker.
Damn, son.
Oh, dude. I just look at him. Ugh.
Man, how many young actresses has he taken advantage of? You know?
Dude. And it's so common, dude, because it's like, what they were talking about, I was listening to it on, I forget whose podcast I was, and they were talking about him, and this dude was come up and like, oh, let me give you a back rub. One of the stories said he jerked off into the plants. Like, that was his thing. Like, that's...
What?
Yeah, you busted nut into the plant. That's what he was doing. That's his thing. I don't fucking know. He had a plant, and he's like, I'm gonna bust in this plant. And that's what he did. I swear. Read the fucking stories. It's
every time?
I don't know. I guess she was like...
He just had a plant in his room.
Plant's just dying. It's like,
kitchen.
He's got all that Big Mac, Coca-Cola cum.
That reminds me...
Yeah.
That reminds me of Justin. He had this friend that was just like weird, who ended up becoming a gay porn star, and he wasn't gay.
Well, no,
but,
I'm gonna correct you. He's gay as fuck. I don't give a fuck what he says.
He
can't do gay porn and not be gay.
They were younger in high school. They skipped one time and went over to this dude's house, and he said he started putting on some porno, and it's like him and 3 dudes. Like, why would you put it on porno when y'all are all hanging out?
It's very awkward.
And then he's like, and so he starts like jacking off. He's like, hey, y'all go ahead, just go get in the corner. And when you bust, just go ahead and wipe it on the curtains. And he looked over at the curtains, and it was like a tortilla chip. Oh! It was just so hard.
Dude, you can snap the fucking curtains, dip that shit in some guacamole, and call it a day. Ugh.
So gross. That's what Harvey Weinstein is doing to these plants.
Oh my God, shit. Harvey Weinstein. You know what? They should fucking have deforestation, fucking everybody after this dude. God damn.
For real.
All right, fuck this fat motherfucker. Let's go to the next one.
All right, so the next current event. Trump claims he instructed. Well, so what happened was VP Mike Pence walked out of one of the games because of the national anthem kneel downs. Like Kaepernick whenever they kneel down. So it was actually the 49ers against the Colts. And Pence said he left today's game because President Trump and I will not dignify any event that disrespects our soldiers, our flags, or our national anthem at a time when so many Americans are inspiring our nation with their courage, resolve, and resilience. Now more than ever, we should rally around our flag and everything that unites us.
Did Pence serve?
I don't know, but he says, I don't think it's too much to ask NFL players to respect the flag and our national anthem.
Hey, Pence, shut the fuck up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I stand with our soldiers. I stand with Trump, and I'll always stand for our flag and our national anthem.
That's the biggest misconception, that they think that they're disrespecting something else.
Why is it disrespectful?
Yeah.
It doesn't make... my parents were always like, it is our duty. Oh, hi, hello.
I mean, that's why they fought, right? So that we can have the right to choose.
Well, just the misinterpretation of it is really what's the big deal, because it's like, these guys aren't saying, fuck this country, we want to burn flags. They're not doing none of that. They've never said anything about fucking military. They're using their only platform that they have. Most of them coming from some hard-ass areas. Most of them, because you just look at the NFL. Most of them are coming from really hard areas. So they want to use their platform to raise the conversations that are being had about a certain group of these injustices that are happening. And like, I don't fucking see anything wrong with that. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's definitely fucked up. I mean, I'm with them though. Like those that are kneeling and stuff, I totally understand what they're saying because they're trying to stand it. There's an underlying motive beneath that I can see as well. But it's like we have to fix the system that's fucking broken before we can ever.
But I'm glad Trump is in there to make it clear that it's broken. Like now we definitely know it's fucking broken.
Yeah.
Like, did you have to do this Pledge of Allegiance when you went to school? Every morning?
Did what?
The Pledge of Allegiance, did you do it every morning?
Yeah, we had to.
Did you?
Yeah, but we did it to every flag in the world. So like
all of them?
We would walk in every single flag.
Oh, fuck you. This takes too long.
So We did it, and then
yeah.
we would like bring in. Everybody had a flag or two, and we would bring all the flags of the world in.
And you would say
From where?
And you would say
like, in a room, and then we set it up for the day. So like all the flags of the world would be set up. It was
But
a
you
Montessori school.
But you didn't do like a Pledge of Allegiance, like I pledge allegiance.
We did the Pledge of Allegiance, but we also brought in all of the flags.
Oh, I thought you meant you did every single flag. Yeah, that would have
No.
sucked. But I just feel like that's so weird. It's programming. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Like it's such a like robot like. It's really weird, man. It's really weird. I don't know. I feel weird about it. People are gonna give me shit about it. But I just feel like that's some drone programming shit.
Yeah, but
Patriotism is earned.
Have you heard like other countries like?
I'm not saying anybody else.
Some of that shit's even weird.
I'm not saying any of it's even weird. Look at fucking North Korea. Shit's
Canada.
fucked. Yeah, or go to fucking communist China or wherever. It's gonna be fucked up.
I wonder what North Korea is like. Fuck that.
They don't think he has a shit asshole. They think he doesn't shit.
I hear that they're planning an assassination on his.
I mean, that's probably been happening for the past 20 years, or however long he's been alive. I don't even know how old he is.
This motherfucker says that he doesn't shit because he doesn't have a butthole because he's like divine.
Well, I wonder where his shit goes. Must be a smelly dude. What's the next one?
And so the last one is, I mean, this isn't anything new.
Brain busters. Look at a little fat Asian kid.
But the statistics on it is what's really like mind-boggling. An estimated 124 million boys and girls are now in the highest weight range of like all time.
Woo!
So, in 1975, an estimated 5 million girls and 6 million boys were obese.
85?
75. In 75, they were 5 and 6.
Wow.
So that's 10, like 11 total.
Now in 2016, those 5 million girls have jumped to 50 million girls, and those 6 million boys, 74 million boys.
Hey, boys, take it easy on the cheeseburgers, huh? Oh my God.
God damn.
What's the common denominator here? What's the only thing that's changed?
Okay, so
Food.
Yeah, it's definitely the food. They're saying that
Look at what he's
What
standing
exactly?
Yeah,
in
he's
front
standing next to a big ass ice cream cone. Look at that shit.
it's the consumption of obviously of fast food for sure, but where is exactly okay, so processed foods, sugary drinks, it's nothing new. We knew this shit, but whenever I saw those numbers, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, put it in perspective.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, 74 million boys.
Poor babies.
And like just the urbanization of countries, especially our country.
Yeah, and like also these companies are going worldwide, prestige worldwide. Like McDonald's is everywhere, fucking jacking about. I went to El Salvador in 2010. They had Pizza Hut, they had McDonald's, but then down the street,
everywhere.
fucking Pedro doesn't have shoes and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why
Does
don't
he
you?
have pupusas?
He probably does.
Fuck yes.
Yo,
Man, I've been craving some pupusas.
I'm going in
around
December.
here,
Why don't you
though.
and Robert come with us? Me and my sister.
Isn't it shady AF out there
I
right now?
mean-
It's like Mexico.
Yeah, you just don't go to Compton. Like it's like LA. Don't go to Compton. You'll be fine. We're going to Chicago. Don't go to the rough areas. You'll be fine. Like
Yeah, probably.
that's how I feel about everything. I'm just like, don't go looking for shit. You won't.
But also with the processed foods and sugar drinks, all that coupled with a reduction in physical activity because of electronics and all that shit. So
Or even the cutting of like the physical programs in schools. Like that shit's not even a priority anymore. It used to be a priority. It was like a required thing for you to graduate. Now it's just like.
But what's crazy amongst all this, is that not only are the children, are so many of them overweight, but globally there are more kids and teens, an estimated 117 million boys and 75 million girls that are severely underweight. So these must be like in these other developing countries.
That's a displacement. It's like going to downtown LA, Skid Row's in one spot, next block over you got Lambos and Porsches. Yeah. It's weird. And it's the same thing in this world. Like some parts of the world they're feeding them too much fucking food. And other parts people are like, I'm dying here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that wraps it up,
There's
right?
no like common middle ground or anything.
It's 8 p.m.
Fuck.
Espy's got to go to bingo. She's been addicted to
Great.
bingo.
Tell everyone.
She's addicted to bingo.
I've been going to bingo.
Bingo is fun.
Dude, she spends like 6 fucking hours there.
But do you do like one card at a time, or do you get like 5 at a time?
Well, I haven't gotten up to like the 5 yet,
She's not an expert yet.
but Robert won last time. He won
Damn.
$130.
Damn, that's a nice
But you
dinner.
can win up to like 1,000. And you
Where do you
man.
play?
at like
VFW?
churches.
But you have, but you have to dedicate like 40 hours a fucking week.
85-year-olds.
Yeah, she's taking all the old people's money.
Okay.
She's like, "Fuck you, old Doris. I'm taking these $1,000. Mama needs a
Really
perm."
fun though. Robert's like, of course you love it. It's like local gambling.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Do you,
what it is.
Do you pay? Do you have to pay for each card?
Well, we went to one place where you pay $1 a game or like a card.
A card, yeah.
But then there's like the more professional place where you pay like $25 to get in, and they give you a bunch of cards. But then you
Damn.
also pay for like other games that go on at the same time.
She's the fucking not a gamble. What are they called? Addicted to gamble?
Gambleaholic?
Gambleaholic? Whatever. She goes to Vegas and she'll blow all her money gambling. She'll be like, "What happened in Vegas?" "I don't know. I just partied."
When I was in Scotland, they have like decorative slot machines in the corners of like the bars. And my brother would like be like, "Where's my sister? Where's
In the
my
corner?
sister?" And I'd be like in the corner putting in like.
I fucking hate slot
pounds.
machines.
They work
They're so
sometimes.
boring.
But in Spain, I won $5,000.
Oh yeah,
on
she
the slot
did.
machine.
That's
the
right. She won 5
fuck?
Gs. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
But that's a lifetime of work, bro.
I'm
Don't expect to do that.
lucky. No, I win all the time.
Not 5,000.
Just wait. Just wait. See
Okay.
if I win tonight.
If she wins tonight, I'll be like, "God
Oh,
damn."
you're playing bingo tonight?
Yeah, she's playing.
That's why I gotta go.
Bro. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, man. We're about an hour 20 in anyway, so
Wow.
yeah. Let's wrap this bad boy up. You got anything else you want to plug? Albi on Sabani? What you got going on?
Hey,
JohnFXPros.com?
No, I'm just, yeah, I mean, unless you're in Houston or some shit, if you need any videography
He's
or
like,
drone
"Yo,
shit,
life is good."
Hey, life is good, but you know, it's still a fucking grind.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But as long as if you can surround yourself with people that you fucking care about and that actually matter and aren't pieces of shit,
Yeah.
then it makes it all worth it. You know,
It's a process. You got anything else?
just keep creating,
All day.
That's all I
You
can
got
say.
anything, SB, other than gambling?
No.
All right. Well, as always, episode 39. We got the band back together for once and for all. You're going to Oregon soon?
January.
No, we got time. All right. We might have her. We might be able to sneak her away from bingo one more time. Anyways, episode 39. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Till next time. Boom.
For sure.